Brussels President Trump routinely invokes the phrase fake news as a rhetorical tool to undermine opponents, rally his political base and try to discredit a mainstream American media that is aggressively investigating his presidency. But he isn't the only leader enamored with the phrase. Following Mr. Trump's example, many of the world's autocrats and dictators are taking a shine to it, too. When Amnesty International released a report about prison deaths in Syria, the Syrian president, Bashar al-Assad, retorted that we are living in a fake news era. President Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela, who is steadily rolling back democracy in his country, blamed the global media for lots of false versions, lots of lies, saying this is what we call fake news today. In Myanmar, where international observers accuse the military of conducting a genocidal campaign against the Rohingya Muslims, a security official told the New York Times that there is no such thing as Rohingya, adding, "It is fake news." In Russia, a foreign ministry spokeswoman, Maria Zakharova, told a CNN reporter to stop spreading lies and fake news. Her ministry now uses a big red stamp, fake, on its website to label news stories it dislikes. Around the world, authoritarians, populists, and other political leaders have seized on the phrase fake news and the legitimacy conferred upon it by an American president as a tool for attacking their critics and, in some cases, deliberately undermining the institutions of democracy. In countries where press freedom is restricted or under considerable threat including Russia, China, Turkey, Libya, Poland, Hungary, Thailand, Somalia and others, political leaders have invoked fake news as justification for beating back media scrutiny. Just this week, the official newspaper of the Chinese Communist Party, People's Daily, used Mr. Trump's words to undercut critical media coverage of an increasingly authoritarian Beijing. If the President of the United States claims that his nation's leading media outlets are a stain on America, the paper wrote, then negative news about China and other countries should be taken with a grain of salt, since it is likely that bias and political agendas are distorting the real picture. Not quite a year into his presidency, Mr. Trump has shaken the global status quo, with his America First ethos, his disdain for global trade and multilateral treaties, and his testy relationships with many traditional allies, and seemingly warm embrace of many traditional rivals. But the president's mantra of fake news stirs different concerns among many foreign politicians and analysts, who fear it erodes public confidence in democratic institutions at a time when populism and authoritarianism are returning in many regions. Trump doesn't only talk about fake news, but attacks the media as fake news, and that's an attack on the free press, said Mariah Schock, a Dutch member of the European Parliament who focuses on human rights and the digital landscape. As the leader of a country that traditionally defends human rights, that's very serious, and of course it has a major impact worldwide.